Sent Tom over here. That's who I'm looking for.
What brings you out here today?
Well, Brad Patzer has been the fire chief here for many, many, many years. So he's a person in the community and helps the community.
So you've been involved in emergency situations where the fire chief has had to come and help you out?
Twice, actually. Once when I was caring for my father, they came, and once I was in a sled accident, and they were right there.
So I guess the municipality says that he hasn't been a great communicator with them, and that's the reason for his...
I believe the problem is the fact that he has tried to communicate, but there wasn't any proper ears listening, and that's a very important thing. You both have to be able to communicate. You can't just communicate when one person wants to communicate. It has to take two.
You know, this fire department, we've called them on our personal level. You know, I've seen firsthand the work that they've done, and they need a leader, and their leader's been taken away from them, and they haven't been given a reason. They've asked for reasons, and it's fallen on deaf ears. So the citizens, all of us, we're concerned. It's forest fire season. We're concerned. But on a personal level, I've worked with Brad, dealt with Brad at the community club. He's on the board, as am I, and he's very easy to communicate with and talk to, and very approachable, very soft-spoken gentleman. So I don't know where these claims are coming from, but I hope this turnout shows them that there's a lot of concerned people here that want him back.
Hi, Pager.
So let's give a warm round of applause to our Deputy Fire Chief, Wolf Kraft, everybody. Sounds like WWF wrestling here. Okay, I usually kind of just shoot from the hip, but this is very important. I want to make sure that I am understood and that I'm very clear about the message that I'm sending out to all the supporters of Brad. First of all, thank you all for coming out in support of our chief, Brad Patzer. As Mike said, my name is Wolf Kraft. I'm Deputy Chief of the Victoria Beach Fire Department. I've been with the department over 40 years. I've known Brad for most of my life, and he's been on the department for over 30 years. During that entire time, there has never been a single incident that would cause a council to terminate his position as fire chief. The question that I've been asked by many... This is very overwhelming. The question that I've been asked by many of you, as well as the media, why was Brad terminated? I can assure you, the reason for his termination boils down to a workplace conflict and nothing more. It is a workplace conflict between Brad in his role as Health and Safety Officer of the RM of Victoria Beach and the members of the municipal employees that he represents. Brad wore several hats for the RM. It was as Health and Safety Officer in the capacity of that situation that the conflict issues arose, which in turn became communication issues. These issues were made aware to our current council, and I feel our current council should have resolved these issues, and this should never, ever have gotten to this point. Council never met with Brad to discuss these issues, despite his requests to do so. And I can verify that because I have personally seen the emails that he sent. Council never sought out conflict resolution to this matter. I personally have pleaded with our reeve to continue a dialogue and reinstate Brad on 2 occasions before he made this termination public. They have not granted me that request. In his capacity as our fire chief, the Reeve has assured me that in his view, Brad has been an excellent leader and competent chief. Council has allowed his actions in his role as health and safety officer to affect his position as chief. My research indicates that fire chief is to report and work with council. I have to add a sidebar right here. I've been in contact with Reeve Hodgson throughout this whole entire process, both by email and phone. I spoke to him for over an hour yesterday after doing my research to determine who the fire chief actually reports to, because this is very important in their decision. The order of operations there has become kind of unclear through various resolutions that council has passed and rescinded. So even the Reeve is unclear of the position right now. He addressed me via voicemail at about 10 after 11 this morning to state that they may have made an error in judgment of interpretation of the bylaw. Then about 20 minutes later, because I asked for that in writing, 20 minutes later in writing, he sent me saying that no, we have not made an error and we are standing by our position to terminate Brad. These two written statements confirm that even our Reeve, our leader, does not know the proper order and procedure of who the chief reports to. As acting chief and leader of our fire department, we are now faced with a very difficult situation. There is not a single one of our members that feel council acted in a professional, proper manner in terminating Chief Brad Patzer. Our only recourse to reinforce this is to join Brad in his termination. If we don't, it would indicate that we support council, which we do not. Yesterday I spoke both to the CAO and Reeve at length. I requested once again that they reinstate Brad and seek out professional workplace conflict resolution mediation to resolve the workplace issues that are the root cause of this action. I requested that the Reeve call an emergency meeting to be held before today's march to discuss ways to resolve this conflict. And then I've already told you his response at just after 11. So what happens now? I, along with my team, will continue throughout the day today and tomorrow to try to find a way to resolve this issue. If it is not resolved by tomorrow night, the fire department will meet again, and each member will state his position. And if this has not changed from what was indicated to me at our emergency meeting on Thursday night, we will no longer have a functioning fire medical response team. This will impact every property owner in the protection zone. Each one of us will need to contact their property insurer and find out how this would impact each of us. Each one of the members wants you all to know that we are not doing this to hold our community at ransom or wanting to put them in harm's way. We have to stand by our chief. For 30-some years, Brad has stood beside us, and now we have to stand beside him. This situation is all on the shoulders of your current council and CAO. Make your priority tomorrow morning to write to your council, write to the municipal board, write to your MLA, go to the RM office in Winnipeg, do anything, but please do not do nothing. I thank you all for coming out today. This has become a clear example, once again, of the lack of leadership of our current council and elected officials. But I see no reason that this cannot be resolved with some outside professional assistance. Thank you all for your time and for coming out and supporting us. We really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
I'm going to bring the microphone over to our previous Reeve here. He had a very good point that he said during Wolf's speech. Sorry, Tom, but I don't think many people really heard who you said to contact.
You need to contact all the people Wolf listed, as well as the Minister of Municipal Affairs. Send as many emails, messages, whatever it takes, because that will count. This is something that, well, you know, they need to be aware that this kind of nonsense can't continue. I've tried since I left office to avoid publicly criticizing the current council. The performance of Thursday has brought me out, and I'm not going to be stopping my criticism. It's really going to carry on, particularly when they waited for the one person they know would object to be away. This is just, well, it's beyond belief that they could operate this way, and with the people they have recently hired. So anyway, get those letters going, get letters to everybody, and let them know that we do give a damn, and it's not going to go away.
Just so everybody knows, at the town hall meeting, we have a paper, and that paper has your MLA's contact, your MP's contact, the municipal board's contact, ombudsman contact. I've been working all week to say that word. And the Association of Manitoba Municipalities contact information.